All right, today we are diving into what is, I would argue, the single most important document in all of fashion production, the tech pack. Seriously, if you've ever looked at a piece of clothing and wondered, how did this go from a sketch to, well, this? The tech pack is your answer. It's the secret sauce. And to really get why it's so critical, just look at the two paths a design can take. On one side, without a tech pack, you're basically just guessing. And that leads to a whole world of pain, mistakes, frustrating delays, and a final product that looks nothing like what you imagined. But on the other side, with a tech pack, you get precision, you get clarity, and you get a straight shot to success. It's really the difference between playing in the little leagues and going pro. So here's our game plan for this explainer. We're going to start by looking at the tech pack as the ultimate blueprint. Then we'll get into how you actually define the design, how to specify all the raw materials, nail down those final production details, and finally wrap up with how you ensure everything is top quality and made ethically. Okay, let's jump into part one. The core idea here is to stop thinking of a tech pack as just some boring paperwork. It's not. It's the instruction manual that takes that little spark of a creative idea and turns it into something a factory can actually make over and over again. So what is it officially? A tech pack, or a technical package, is the blueprint for a garment, but its most important job by far is to be a universal translator. It bridges that huge gap between a designer's brain and the factory floor, making sure that everyone, from the person cutting the patterns to the one stitching the seams, is speaking the exact same language. No room for error. And that's the magic of it, right? This is the transformation. You take this abstract creative thing in your head and you turn it into a concrete, super detailed document. It becomes this easy to follow step-by-step script that makes your idea literally impossible to misunderstand. So, how do we actually start defining that vision inside the tech pack? Well, it all begins with getting that idea out of your head and onto paper with, and I mean this, absolute precision. And the visual foundation for all of this is what's called a flat sketch. Now, this is so important. These are not cool, artistic fashion illustrations. They're not meant to be pretty. They are technical, 2D drawings designed to instruct. They show the garment as if it were lying perfectly flat, so you can see every single seam, stitch, and detail with total clarity. And you can see that difference so clearly here. A fashion illustration, that's all about communicating a style, a mood. It's for inspiration. A flat sketch is all about communicating construction. It's precise, it's neutral, and it's purely instructional. You could say one sells the dream, while the other actually builds the reality. But a drawing only gives you the shape. It's the numbers that give you the fit, and that's where points of measure, or POMs, come in. For something as simple as a t-shirt, you have to specify the exact chest width, the body length, sleeve length, you name it. This is what defines the garment's precise dimensions. Now, this table you're seeing, this is called a spec sheet, and it's where all those numbers live. So for this hoodie, you can see we've set a base size, which is medium. Then we apply what are called grading rules to scale those measurements up or down for the other sizes. See how the chest grows by exactly 2.5 centimeters for each size? That's grading. And getting that right is how you ensure a consistent fit across your entire size range. Okay, so we've got the shape and the size locked in. Now, what is this thing actually made of? This next part is all about creating the master shopping list for your factory. Specifying your fabric is a really straightforward 4-step process. First, you identify the type, like a knit fleece for our hoodie. Second, you document its weight. 320 GSM, for example, tells the factory it's a nice, heavy, substantial fabric. Third, the exact composition. Is it 100% organic cotton? A blend? And finally, you specify any special finishes, like that soft brushed interior that totally changes the feel of the garment. But of course, a garment is way more than just its fabric. The trims are all those other bits and pieces, the zippers, the buttons, the draw cords, even the thread you use. And honestly, these little details are often what give a product its unique character and make it feel like a high-quality piece. So where do we keep track of all this stuff? Well, every single one of those components, every fabric, every zipper, every little label is listed in one master document, the Bill of Materials, or BOM. Just think of it as the ultimate checklist for your factory. And here's what one looks like. On a BOM, every single item gets its own line, detailing the material, the size, the color, everything. The rule here is simple and absolute. If it is not on the BOM, it will not be in your final product. This one document prevents absolute nightmares, like getting an entire shipment of hoodies with the wrong colored draw cords. a tiny mistake that can cost a fortune to fix. The BOM is your safety net. All right, with our shopping list complete, let's move on to the final details, the stuff that gets your garment ready for the store shelf and into your customer's hands. And labels are a huge piece of this puzzle. You've got your brand label for identity, your size label for fit, hang tags for retail info, and then you have the care label. Now this one, with the washing instructions and fiber content, it's not just a nice suggestion. In most places around the world, it's actually a legal requirement. I love this way of thinking about it. Labels are the voice of your garment. They're not just a technical necessity. They are a key part of how your brand communicates directly with the person who's going to wear it. Next up, color. You know, using vague descriptions like black or olive green is a total recipe for disaster and production. You absolutely must use a universal color standard like Pantone. When you specify Pantone 194007, you are guaranteeing that every single hoodie, whether it's made today or a year from now, will be the exact same shade of black. And believe it or not, the tech pack's job isn't done until that product is ready to ship. That means including packaging specs, everything from how the garment should be folded, to the type of poly bag it goes in, the size of the shipping carton, and even any extra inserts, like a little brand story card, to make that unboxing experience special. And that brings us to our final section, which is the safety net for everything we've talked about. The tech pack is also where you make sure your product isn't just well made, but that it's made in a way that you, and more importantly, your customers, can actually feel good about. This is where certifications become completely non-negotiable, and your tech pack is where you demand them. You can specify that your factory must have ethical labor certifications like WRAP, that your organic cotton has to be GOTS certified, or that your packaging needs to come from responsibly managed forests certified by FSC. This is how you build real trust and accountability right into your supply chain. So, after going through all of that, the sketches, the measurements, the fabrics, the compliance, what's the one big takeaway here? What's the single most important thing to remember from all of this? It really all boils down to this. A tech pack is the bridge that takes you from imagination to reality. Without it, your awesome design is just an idea. With it, that idea becomes a real, tangible, production-ready garment. So the only question left is, what are you going to build with yours?